Hello, everybody. It is another late night stream. I'm feeling pretty happy tonight, if you can tell by the inflection of my voice. I just finished recording a couple of podcasts that I'm going to be uploading little by little, as I mentioned before. And as you see, the cat hairs on my shirt. I am doing the Serene Chaos podcast once again. And once again, thank you to everyone that listened to episode one about 2 weeks ago almost. This week, episode two is going to be going up for the public on Wednesday. I am planning on updating them on Wednesdays for the free public. And I'm usually going to be uploading it on Patreon on Mondays. So this Monday, episode three is actually going to be going up on Patreon. So once again, for as little as $1, you can listen to advanced episodes of the Serene Chaos podcast, as well as download digital versions of some of my comics, like the first four issues of Fred Peterson, the Mighty Warlord, which would be the prologue, the webisodes, issues one and two, and also the webisodes you can download for free if you want to at Indie Planet. But just know that you can download all four things as an ebook, as a PDF file, if you join my Patreon, as well as download high resolution illustrations, read Funny Bone Rage of the Lucky 13, which is on chapter 4 of 6 right now. And, as the old wise saying say, I'd buy that for $1. So tonight I just wanted to do a chill stream. I'm just going to be illustrating the second strip of the second season of Nevermind of the Truthful Comics edition. I'm going to try to share the screen as I illustrate, and I kind of wanted to reminisce a little bit about Manga Criolla. For those that don't know, Manga Criolla in Puerto Rico is a comic book activity. It was done yesterday, Saturday, and I have some fond memories from Manga Criolla. I was there at their second ever activity back in 2010, I believe it was. And it was real fun. It was actually also one of the first YouTube videos I ever did as well. I went with a small little camera to the activity. At the time, I had a torn tendon in my ankle, which, yeah, confirms that every year, I guess, I have like one injury that's bothering me. And my good friend and comic book colleague as well, Dan Core Jimenez, actually picked up my sorry ass from home and drove me to that comic book activity, and we had a ton of fun. If you guys want, I'll probably like skim through some of the cool things that happened back then, the videos that I had uploaded to YouTube. Really one of the first videos I uploaded to YouTube. So it's very nostalgic in a way to me. And again, it's just a lot of fun to kind of look back at that thing and kind of see like the indie creators that were doing stuff back then and how they're doing now. A lot of them actually went to the Manga Criolla that happened yesterday, that were present at the one in 2010, which I went to back when I was still living in Puerto Rico. Fun times, fun times all around. And also, I wanted to make a small announcement, and this deserves a small drink. For anyone that's worried that I'm probably messing up my workstation or something by having a glass there, or um, cans of beer or glasses of water, I do have a very classy, fancy coaster. I actually got that as a gift going to a Mets game a few years ago. Let's go Mets. Let's effing go Mets. So, a small first, a small toast to Manga Criolla. It was cool because even though I wasn't able to be there, obviously, because I'm in New York now, but, pretty much my spirit was there because, one of the comics that I wrote, El Gran Matatan, which was published by Silver Island Studio, was on sale at that activity, and I saw some people bought that issue, so a toast to all the friends that got the issue there. I co-wrote it with Jose Cruz, the creator of Silver Island Studios, which I've mentioned before. That I've written short stories for his comic book Paths, issues number 1 and 2, and I wrote the origin issue of El Gran Matatan as well. There's other stuff in the works too, so hopefully stay tuned to that. So a small toast to Manga Criolla, to its organizer Juan Lapaix and his comic studio Dream Graphics, to Jose Cruz and Silver Island Studio, to everyone that participated and that went there as fans and as customers. Salute. And also, this is a celebratory little drink because I had a small idea that ran by Manuel Carmona, which is my co-conspirator with Truthful Comics. Last year, I had this idea called Indie. Thanks Indie, that we kind of like took the month of November and we kind of like expressed our gratitude for indie comics and whatnot. Hence the hashtag Thanks Indie. And it was a nice little thing that we did last year. And this year, I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different, but more or less in the same vein. I wanted to run by him, and ran it by Manuel, and he loved the idea. I wanted to do something called Gift Indie this year, which would be taking place pretty much after Thanksgiving, all throughout the Christmas season, which is essentially us writing about indie comic books that we like and that we probably would recommend people to buy either as a gift for Christmas to that comic book fan that doesn't necessarily read indie comics but would probably like this type of indie comic, or if there's somebody that doesn't read comics but kind of wants to start reading something and not necessarily be like the whole Marvel cinematic universe stuff and mainstream comics, something that we could recommend for that kind of public as well. And aside from that, we also want to do, aside from those blogs where we recommend those indie comics, we also want to interview other indie creators to kind of talk about their inspiration of how they came up with their indie comics, why they chose to go the independent route, and pretty much give an elevator pitch of why their comic would be like a great gift for someone else for not even necessarily Christmas, just like a gift for birthday, anniversary, a gift just because, it's just like a small detail or whatever. So we want to have a lot of fun with it this year. We want to involve more people, have it more interactive in that sense. So hopefully more creators will jump on and other readers will jump on as well. And we all just have a fun Christmassy time with independent comics. Cheers to independent comics. So right now, Manuel and I are reaching out to other creators who could do like that simple blog interview and also like lining up the comics that we would like to not necessarily review but recommend that we enjoyed and hopefully someone else can enjoy those comics as well. So that's pretty much what Gift Indie is going to be about. And hopefully, it will be starting after Thanksgiving to kind of kickstart that whole Christmas season. And as I said, I wanted to just do like a very small chill stream as I works a little bit on Nevermind. I'm trying to start illustrating more again now that I have more range in my shoulders and I'm slowly starting to build the strength up again. So I just kind of wanted to chill with you guys, if you will. Let me see if I can do this correctly. Let's see. Okay, here we go. All right, so you guys are able to hopefully see the screen as I work on some stuff, and that way you get like a small behind the scenes of how I work on something like the remaster or Truthful Comics edition of Nevermind, which is the same method I did for the first issue of Nevermind, the Truthful Comics edition, season one. What I would do is that I would take the original strip, since it's only the web version, I'll just blow it up on. I almost called it Manga Studio, the original name, but Clip Studio Art. So I blow it up and I kind of draw over it. So I'll like go panel from panel, kind of sketching it out and accommodating it if I need to add a scene or if I need to take away a scene and do that. For example, with this one, it was 4 panels. Let me just go ahead and kind of go to that layer and resize it. Let's see. Bear with me if you will. This is like the first time I am doing this on a live stream. I mean, what could go wrong, right? As you can see, it's 4 panels basically in this script in this strip in itself, 4 panels, kind of like introducing the plot of what's going to happen. Close up here, another person appears, and then like the reveal at the end and the resolution. So this one is called Samurai Showdown. Of course, it is named after the video game, and it is based on a dream that I actually had that I was hanging out with my two best friends at the time when I was living in Puerto Rico. We were walking through a mall and we suddenly heard like large popping sounds, and I'm looking around, like, asking, like, "What's going on? What is that sound?" And it was insane because, like, this girl randomly pops up in the dream, and she tells me it's like, "Oh, that's the samurai testing. It's where samurais kinda get together and people just launch rocks at them, and the ones who endure all that rock throwing will graduate into becoming a actual samurai." I don't know where that came from, that dream. I've always had very vivid dreams, so yeah, I thought that would be kind of funny to do as a strip back then, and when I originally posted it, people actually really enjoyed the randomness of that strip, so it's definitely one that I was really looking forward to remake. So what I essentially do is that I go accommodating and moving the strip around in Clip Studio Art. I do different layers, like, for example, the first layer is the actual strip, the original one that I'm using kind of as a guideline for the remaster. I do another layer for the panel. As you can see, I'm just, like, turning it on and off. Let me, like, blow this up a little bit more so you can probably appreciate it more. I just toggle it on and off. That's just like the panels to separate all the gutters and whatnot. And then I do another layer where I do the sketching out of the actual strip that I'm doing. And so I can be able to differentiate it a little bit more, distinguish it a little better. I do change it from monochrome layer to a color layer. So I can do like when I do traditional art as well, that I usually go for a red pencil. I do prefer the red pencil over the non-reproduction blue because I don't know, I'm able to identify things better with the color red rather with the than with the blue. Sometimes when I would use the non-reproduction animation blue pencils, it would kind of mesh together with the lead of the pencil, so it was kind of difficult for me. And I discovered that when I made the transition to digital, that kind of happened as well too, like, the colors would kind of bleed in a little bit, so it helps me to kind of see the difference and kind of see where I'm going. So I choose the mechanical pencil on Clip Studio Paint, and I just start sketching away. I put it down to about a 7, which is kinda what I do with my actual pencils as well. I just, mm, let's see. Actually, I'm having a little bit of trouble with the XP pen right now. It's not so much of the equipment itself, it's more the drivers. I actually have to update the operating system on my Mac, and every time that happens, um, it really does get pretty bad. Let me see if I'm able to. If not, I'll just like do a demonstration with the mouse like I was playing with a little bit now. Sometimes just unplugging it and replugging the monitor that helps. Right, let's see. You're right. Again, this is live. Maybe I should have tested this out beforehand, but again, this isn't like a demonstration kind of thing. It's more like I said before, this is more of a chill stream that I wanted to just, hang out with you guys a little bit. Like, I'll probably do like a proper art stream at some point, more than likely. Just have quite a few cables here because of my setup. And I'm also being careful to not knock over the camera because that would be really bad. This almost feels like my first live stream using restream where I really didn't test things out immediately and I paid for it dearly. But again, this is all in good fun. I just want to, like I said, have a good chill time with you guys. Just trying to reach down here. Hello. Hmm. The camera seems to have gone off. I don't know if you're all still watching, but I guess, okay, there I am again. Weird. Well, anyway, let me just kind of restart the stream real quick, just to see if I'm able to manage to get everything kind of in sync. I'm going to be right back.